Hey guys, Cathryn Hartt here of Heart and Soul Studio, the unacting coach, fairy dust. So, let's talk today about one of my very favorite things to teach in my own camera classes, and that is close-ups. All right, I think that close-ups are so very important to an actor to know how to play, that in every one of my 6 weeks as an on-camera class, if you came to my classes in person, I take one day every 6 weeks to teach you close-ups. Now, sometimes I teach you a lot of technical stuff because honestly, if you can technically make a good picture in a close-up and you understand some basic little tips, you can look like you're doing something even if you're stinky poo-poo. And likewise, even if you're a very, very good actor and you do not know how to play a close-up, you can look stinky poo-poo. And I just suspect that most of you don't want to look stinky poo-poo. I hardly ever want to. So, let's talk about today, not so much about the technical things, even though those are really important. Let's talk about acting. I'm doing a class this week in my own camera class on close-ups, and I am really concentrating on the acting. And I am finding, that a lot of people lose some of the most important moments of their acting careers because they really don't get exactly what a close-up is, so they don't get how to act it. So let's talk about what a close-up actually is. A close-up is the moment when the entire movie comes to a standstill and they go into you, your character. It's your moment, baby, shine. And they go into you and they see something important that is changing, evolving. It's when I fall in love. It's when I'm betrayed. It's when I get inspired. It's when I get uninspired. It is this moment when something important is going on inside of your character, hence why we go inside your character for that moment in a close-up. So I simplistically explain that your long shot, your full body shot, and your medium shot are basically the plot line, and it's the action of the movie. It physically is moving the plot line forward. Not that you can't get some plot stuff in a close-up, and not that you can't get some character development in a long shot or a medium shot, but basically those other two shots are moving the plot line forward actively, and then everything stops because something important is changing inside of my character. Boom! This is what the close-up is. So this is a really important moment for me. Also, may I take a moment to point out that pretty much every audition tape that you ever do for the rest of your career as an actor is going to be done in a close-up. Sometimes, okay, so they need to see you dancing around, they'll do a long shot. But basically, your acting career in auditions is going to be a close-up. So if you don't know how to play a close-up, well, you're in big trouble. Now, let's talk about some acting things you need to do in a close-up that are going to make it a lot better. If you understand the concept of a close-up, simplistically, a close-up is your thoughts. The closer the camera gets to you physically, the more it appears to the audience that we're going inside of you. So a long shot is pretty much a lot my body. Medium shot is my body and what I'm thinking. And by the time you get to a close-up, it's really all about what's going on in here, what's behind my eyes. And the camera is so close, they can see behind my eyes. In an extreme close-up, let's just get clear. 3-button, well, that would be more like here. 3-button, which is more like, here, we'll come up to here. 3-button, which is more like, you could also call mid-chest. They do that in auditions a lot. And then we have a 2-button, which we call shoulders. And then we have a 1-button, which is extreme close-up. That 1-button shot is all about an emotional movement going inside of you. You better be doing nothing. So this is where I start applying my wonderful rules in my acting classes of less is more. For every 3 things you feel like doing, only do 1. The KISS rule, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. Yes, so do a lot less stuff in your close-ups because If you think of a close-up as something that's inside of you, I want to walk everything inside of me and cause it to build up to this extreme, like a pressure cooker. So every time I move, I'm expending energy from that pressure cooker. The steam goes out, so I'm not as effective in my close-up. And every time I talk with my lines and say them pretty loud and really talk using those lines as my only means of communication, which of course you shouldn't be doing anyway, but every time I do it in a close-up, I am taking away from what could be inside of me. It's about my thoughts. So sometimes I will tell people, hey, stop talking so loudly, because I'm going to take away that tool from them. So if I take away that tool, it will cause things to go more inside into the energy and your eyes, because you're not getting to use that tool as much. So it will automatically sort of put it inside of you. And stop doing stuff with your hands and stuff, because in a close-up, it tends to be more like what's going on inside of you. So if I'm doing a lot of extra little things like this, it's like too much and the closer I get, it's too much stuff. I can't be doing little things like that. So in a close-up, I want to keep it very simple. So I take away not only too much stuff going on in my picture, that's just a technical thing, but I also take away throwing away my energy using other parts of my body. So if I bring my voice down a little bit, and I start to really, not move around so much, but if I start using it more with my eyes and my energy, and I start to, speak to you from here and communicate from you from inside of me, and also if I really see someone, if I see something out there, if I see the other person in a close-up, I will see you see them in your eyes. Think about a close-up as actually really being very intimate. Something like maybe you're 8 inches or a foot away from someone. So I'm not going to talk to them like this. I'm going to talk to them like this. It's something inside. I wouldn't come this close to you if it weren't something inside. And the last thing I want to talk about is connecting. Once I get you making it about what's inside of you, sometimes people go all inside of themselves and they block out everything else because I'm acting now. No. Acting is actually interactive. If you aren't letting your energy share, there's no magic. There's no spontaneity. So you're constantly being affected by the other person because you sync up with them. The more you can sync up with them, the more powerful it is. And, honestly, when we shoot our close-ups, quite frequently the other person isn't even there. There's a piece of tape on a lamp pole or something. But you've got to imagine that there's someone there and you've got to connect to them. Or if you need someone, ask someone to stand there so you can see their eyes, so that you can really connect to someone. But I can see if you see someone in your eyes in a close-up. So when you're working on your close-ups from now on, think more intimately and think less is more. Make it go inside of you. And don't make it be so much about what I say as to what I feel. It's inside. Not outside. Not in a close-up. So, go forth. Practice. Torture other people by playing. Let's do close-up games with them. And have a great day.